Shots fired? Shots fired at the White House Correspondents Dinner? Oh my God. Oh my God, look. What the fuck? What happened? Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead maybe. Is that Kash Patel? Bro, they are gonna fire the fuck out of Kash Patel, dude. Oh my God. Watch it be a negligent discharge by one of the Secret Service guys? No shot. All right, so this is live. We're now live at the White House Correspondents Dinner. Chaotic scenes taking place at the White House Correspondents Dinner as the president and everyone in the White House Correspondents press pool, members of the press, were having dinner. And all of a sudden, we don't know exactly what happened. We have no idea what took place, but there was like people panicked, moving around. President ducked under the table. Secret Service was present on site. Loud sounds heard inside. Trump was taken out of the room. Potential shots fired at the White House Correspondents Dinner. Attendees currently on the floor. Bro, this is the one place where you do this, everyone's gonna know. CNN is covering it right now. We'll go live to CNN for real-time coverage. Are they covering it from the ground? This is when this is where the real journalists come out. You know what I mean? Immediately fucking get on a camera. Start talking.
You know, I heard a loud sound, and at first I thought it was a plate.
Come on, Brian!
I thought it was a plate of dinner meals falling to the ground. My first thought, John, was one of the poor waiters who were trying to navigate this room had dropped all of the meals, you know, and it was, you know, a loud noise. But I have no idea. I was, you know, pretty far away. Can you talk? But people, in a matter of 3 to 4 seconds, Sean, fell to the ground under these tables as the Secret Service ran.
All right, let's watch. We already watched that. Let's watch this moment once again. Oh, that sounds like gunshots. 100 P. That sounds like gunshots, potentially. I don't know, but... Actually, I don't know. Bro, that shit went pop, 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 bang, 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 bang. Gunshots, remember, sound very differently outdoors as opposed to indoors, but I mean, I don't know. It kind of sounds like it could be.
Yeah.
And very quickly
Right.
prepare them and they got them out.
So, John, the folks who were in the front did not know what was going on either. Here is now the front. You can see some of the damage, some of the lighting and things knocked over at the front of the room, okay?
No, this is good for us because Trump
Brian,
actually...
just so you know, you are our eyes and
Trump
ears.
actually ended up not watching the Mark Levin show tonight, so that's still good for us.
Images that we
Unless
have.
he DVR'd it, in which case we're fucked.
And through the people you were speaking with, the only information that we are getting from inside there. So please keep looking and keep on talking to people, and we will try to get a sense of what happened. But right now, just to reiterate, and I think we did just lose Brian there, unfortunately. The cell service in there is terrible. All we know is there was a sound. The people we've spoken to, Brian and Major Garrett of CBS, said it sounded like plates, and that every Trump official was then immediately escorted out.
We're seeing David Urban
And Tony Dope of CBS. Brian, go ahead.
Tony Double Cirque. Tony Double Cirque, is his penis okay?
No, I don't have enough. Anybody in this room who knows what happened. Hopefully, this was a sudden reaction to some drop
Hold
plates.
on, we
Let's
have
hope that
Brian.
all-
We
let's
have
hope that
Caitlin
all
Collins.
works.
We have Caitlin Collins on the line for some more insight. Caitlin Collins, we're listening. What's happening?
Hey guys, obviously, I mean, this is a total state of chaos right now in the ballroom, and we're seated maybe 50 feet from the stage where the president was up there, the First Lady Melania Trump
Okay, so we have to stay here for now.
Security is telling us that everything's okay. The shooter, there was a shooter? 1 second, guys. I'm literally, what happened?
We're trying to identify it now.
Where was the shooter?
Somewhere out there.
In the lobby? In the lobby? All right, control. All right, guys. I just want you to know this is not verified. We're just listening to what's happening.
Bro, they got you in 4K saying you wish he wasn't having a good time. Okay, bro. Like, oh no.
The Secretary of Education is seated right next to me. And
That's a little bit. That's a little bit of a liberal interpretation of what I was saying there. You know what I mean? Just because the wish was granted doesn't mean that I was calling for it.
Today said he is confirmed dead. We don't know anything more than that, but I can tell you we had just sat down to dinner. The president,
Prison
the first
stream
lady, Caroline
soon.
Leavitt, were all on stage, including the vice president, J.D. Vance. So obviously a lot of security here. And, you know, at the beginning of the dinner, everyone's just kind of seated having their meal. And within moments, armed Secret Service is running in with massive guns. I mean, maybe dozens. And a silence just went over the room as they ran in. Everyone ducked, got on the floor. People were underneath tables. No one knew what was going on. And for a second, the president actually was not evacuated off stage. I looked. He was sitting still right there.
Did you just ask
as
if they
Secret Service
shot
was
a
coming
waiter
in
for
and
dropping the
hallway.
plates?
And so we didn't know at first, but then we heard from our own security that they heard shots fired. And now we do have Secret Service telling us, obviously I want to know this is only one Secret Service member, but a member of security is here telling us that there is a shooter who is confirmed dead. And now we are kind of basically locked inside the ballroom. But basically they were saying everyone's okay. They have not identified the shooter yet, but obviously it shows you this was not some kind of false threat, that obviously something had happened and they rushed the entire administration off stage. A few members are still in the audience because, as you guys know, someone from the administration is kind of seated at each table inside. I'm actually sitting next to Secretary McMahon, the Secretary of Education. And so that was what happened. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my life. And I want you guys to know security is very tight getting in. It's Secret Service who warns you. You come in through magnetometers into this. And so obviously there's a ton of security here, given how many top officials here, the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, top lawmakers who all have their own security details are also in the room. That just speaks to this. But as we were sitting here, and then moments later, obviously the president was rushed off stage, the vice president was rushed off stage. I saw Secretary Kennedy being rushed off as well, Stephen Miller and his wife, as they were moving quickly. But it's difficult for them to identify where everyone is in this very cramped ballroom as we're all kind of seated right next to each other.
Caitlin, are you hearing anything more in terms of
What does she
the number
know?
of shooters or any shots fired or anything, information about where they were
There will be
firing
shots
into? Was
fired.
it confined to the lobby or inside of the actual ballroom?
So it's not clear because obviously it looked like the threat was coming near the stage, and that's where people thought that they heard gunshots. But
What
then we
does she
also have
know?
reports that people who were seated kind of in the back of the room heard it. I mean, the acoustics, obviously, it's hard to judge. I personally did not hear the gunshots. I'm seated maybe 50 feet from the main stage where the president, the first lady, and the vice president were. And you kind of walk downstairs. It's in the basement of the Hilton. The security who just confirmed to me that the shooter that was here inside the Hilton where the president was is confirmed dead seemed to indicate that this person was in the lobby. But I mean, I want you guys to know this is all just coming in as we're literally standing here in the room reporting on this as it's happening. And I just to give you insight into this room, obviously it's always a huge gathering of media, but when the president comes, it generates a lot of interest. So there are some of those powerful figures in media, entertainment, news, Washington that are inside this room right now, just to give you a sense of what this security nightmare is like.
Yeah, again, just let's reiterate what Caitlin has just told us and bring people up to speed as to what we know. This is the White House Correspondents Dinner, or what was the White House Correspondent Dinner at the Washington Hilton Hotel. About 10 minutes ago, people heard things and the room was cleared out very quickly. The president, the vice president, the entire dais, most of the cabinet is there as well, taken out of the room. Caitlin, who is in there, Caitlin Collins, is reporting she is hearing from a security official that there were shots fired, perhaps in the lobby, by someone who is now dead. Now, we don't have any information this person got in the room or near the president or any official, but there does appear to have been shots fired outside. You can see officials now, right now, sweeping the area, going through. And we have no information about who the individual might be or anything like that. I will say, as Caitlin was saying, this is one of the most secure rooms on earth tonight. You have the president, the vice president, much of the entire cabinet there, prominent media figures as well. It takes a long time to get in, and everyone is thoroughly screened. So questions will be asked about how someone even got to the lobby. Let's go to Brian Stelter and Manu Raju now, who are there for the latest on what you are hearing, gentlemen.
And this information, John, that you've been reporting is news to most of the people in the ballroom. Most folks in the ballroom do not yet know anything about shots being fired. Manu, what have you seen?
Yeah, I only saw when I was sitting at the table, I saw President Trump getting pushed down by his security detail and then being rushed out. Then later seeing both the vice president, the cabinet, also members of Congress also being rushed out by the security detail.
Yeah, and now
other than that, nothing else.
looking around, wondering what happened because people inside do not know. I apologize. I'm literally holding up a cell phone camera in order to show you this, but it's better than nothing in a moment like this. And I do think that I don't want to overstate this, but there are some folks pretty shook up in the room here. You had folks who looked like they got hurt when they were falling to the ground.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to overstate that, but this was a pretty sudden, shocking interruption in this room.
Yeah, no question about it, because it's unmistakable. It sounded like gunshots that we heard from not inside the room, but nearby. Okay. And that was enough to cause so many people to immediately, they know what they heard, jump to the ground, try to protect themselves. But we saw how the security reacted very, very seriously, immediately to the situation.
That's right. John?
It is stunning to think about where we are right now. This evening that began as a question of why now? Why is the President of the United States speaking and attending what is his first White House Correspondents Dinner as the President of the United States? He is attending many of his cabinet members there. His obviously next in line, the Vice President of the United States, the First Lady is there, the Defense Secretary. Also, you have DNI. You have so many people in the administration, also many of whom were on that stage. We watched the video footage as it was coming in live to a bit of chaos after we were told that loud sounds had been heard inside of the actual venue. Caitlin Collins.
Where's Usher?
Shots were fired in the lobby and a shooter confirmed dead. We've got Jake Tapper, who is sitting next to Brian Stelter as well, who is our eyes and ears inside of the space right now. Jake, what did you hear? Can you tell us what you saw?
So
Jake, can you tell us?
I'm looking there. Okay, sorry.
Jake, it's
you hear
Laura
me
and
okay?
Berman. Yes, I can hear you. What's going on?
So this is what's happening. We're just all at this dinner, and then all of a sudden, I didn't hear the bangs, but I guess there was some bangs, and then there was Secret Service running.
Jake Tapper's about to be like, I have it on good authority that it's Hasan Piker who's responsible for this. And apparently he said this one's for Israel right before he shot right before he fired the warning shot.
And
someone should go arrest him right now, actually.
People were very upset and worried. And I have some videos, so somebody needs to.
Oh my God, I'm about to sound like a fucking chatter, but his mic, he sounds so different on this phone camera.
But in any case,
he sounds so nasally on this phone camera mic.
Somebody with a Secret Service pin said,
real voice, Jake Tapper, real voice.
His way into the building,
real voice, real voice unlocked.
And that shooter was stopped. So that's all I know. Is that shooter was stopped. But again, that's from one person with a Secret Service pin. Not a thorough vetting in a journalistic sense, but since I'm being interviewed more as a bystander at an event, that's
security officials evacuate House Speaker Mike Johnson as shooter opens fire at the annual White House Correspondents Dinner from Reuters.
I will say this. So after that happened, I'm sorry if I'm. It's tough to hear you. After that happened, the Secret Service came and started collecting other members of the administration, like Secretary Kennedy of the Health and Human Services Department was right there. He was taken out. Secretary Besson was taken out.
What? Possibly
one by
per
one.
News Nation?
The,
Bro, that's News
Steve
Nation.
Scalise, who
Wait. RFK Jr. and Cheryl Hines. RFK was limping. No word on POTUS. Dog, RFK just limps. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was just limping because he just is fucked up in general. And not because he got shot. Like, I mean, maybe, but RFK's got so many different issues, dog. Like even if RFK got shot, I would assume that he died to other causes. You know what I mean? Because that's what's going. His body is a wonderland. Okay, it's just so many different things going on in his body.
She was on the line. First of all, Greta, what we're seeing on the scene right now
they're
is
evacuating.
that all the attendees are filing out. Is that correct?
Yes, and I just left myself, actually, so I was able to talk to you because
Good.
there's not
Yeah,
cell
see,
service,
this motherfucker's just limping.
down in the ballroom area. So I left the building. I'm standing outside. There is a large police presence outside. The attendees are filing out, and it's unclear what's going to happen next. The lobby of the Hilton is where the action happened before the ballroom. I'm not sure if it was unclear what was happening in the ballroom itself. It sort of
We might hear something funny from these reporters, by the way, because as a chatter pointed out, they're a little buzzed. Okay, like Jake Tappy was sounding a little buzzed there. Oh my God, Olivia Reingold. Terrifying. A few ground shaking knocks by my seat at White House Correspondents Dinner. Unclear if shooting. I am okay. We are trying to exit now.
We were just seated over. I'm seated near one of the doors, and there.
Oh my God, they tried to recreate the USA chant after the shooting. Oh my God, people are so fucking cringe. Oh my God. Can we just skip her? No, that's my favorite journalist in America. How dare you?
Public, a sense of the scale and what it takes to navigate this room, right? We are seeing but a sliver of the inside of this room. Someone's talking right now. Let's listen in. We did not hear what they just said just now. It apparently was not well received, but they're getting more information. We are learning things. Brian, what did they say just now, Brian Selter?
Just a very brief announcement saying the program will resume shortly.
What?
Not sure what form that.
What? They're like lightning can't strike twice. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Now Trump has to sit through this shit, pissed off and possibly scared because he's a pussy if he doesn't come back, right? Oh my God. Oh my God. Now he has to fucking sit through the White House course. He's probably not gonna come back. Oh my lordy.
First of all, I'm glad that the president is safe, and I'm glad that the cabinet is safe, and I'm glad that they were able to keep worse things from happening. What I would say is that there is some strength that's trying to be shown here, that you don't stop this country, and you don't.
Oh God, Ben Jones.
And so people will see it differently, but I can understand why people would not want to let the terrorists win today, why they would not want to let terrorism win today. But you're going to have a lot of people who are just upset and shaken because the president of this country could have been killed tonight. And this is the sort of stuff that has to stop. This is the level of violence and crazy stuff on all sides of this country is leading people to think that this is the right thing to do somehow. And I can understand why they don't want to yield to this. But I think people around the world right now.
Why are they talking like it's a foreign enemy? It's America, bro. Of course.
to get into an event.
It's an American news broadcaster. Of course, they're going to make it seem like it was Al Qaeda or some shit. I mean, we don't have any details whatsoever, but judging by past performance, the likelihood of this guy being a Trump supporter is still fairly high. Because considering that wherever Trump goes, there are fallen fans of Donald Trump that just seemingly always want to kill him. I mean, this has happened a bunch of times at this point, like in fucking Mar-a-Lago and shit. You know what I mean? So,
by showing up and doing something like this. I was here on the Saturday night in 2024 of Butler, Pennsylvania. Yeah. And I got to tell you, I wake up every day worried to death about the safety of this president and everything that he has been through. I'm glad he's safe.
Let's listen. Wei Zhejiang is up there.
How fast before people say this is fake, by the way?
Security personnel have been rushed out of the building. Wei Zhejiang speaking now.
We have an announcement.
Right on time.
I know everyone's going to want as many details as possible, and right now we don't have that, but I can tell you that our program is going to resume momentarily.
Show must go on! Sources say the dinner is stable. Please, God.
We will have more details to share also momentarily, but for now, please just be patient as we figure out just how much time it will be, but it shouldn't be that much longer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're going to hear from Wolf Blitzer right now, who is standing by. He's obviously at this dinner as well. Wolf, are you able to hear us? I'd love to hear what your perspective is and what you can tell us.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. It's very,
Knees are weak.
Worrisome what happened. Just coincidentally, after
I already did twice check logs.
I walked out to simply go to the men's room, but you have to walk up these stairs and walk out, and which I was doing. And as I was walking back towards the door to get back into the big area where the event was taking place, all of a sudden, I start hearing gunshots in the hall right near me.
Wolf Blitzer, drunk again, blindsided by breaking news, has to rush into action.
And I was listening and watching what was going on, and apparently they got the gunman who had a major weapon there, but it was so worrisome. The noise was so loud in a small area, and all of a sudden I'm seeing gunshots. And then they grab me, the police officers, and they take me back into the men's room where it was safe, and there were about 15 other men who are stuck in there, and they won't let them out. And that's what happened. And then after a while, they let me out, and I'm out now. I'm not back in the ballroom, but everything is apparently closing down. Very scary incident. All of a sudden, a guy with a weapon, and it was a very, very serious weapon, he starts shooting, and I happened to have been a few feet away from him as he was shooting. And, of course, the first thing that went through my mind is he trying to shoot me. And I don't think he was trying to shoot me, but I was very close to him as the gunshots were fired. And it was very, very scary, but I'm okay now.
Wolf, it's John Berman. Thank God you are okay. And thank you for calling to tell us you are okay and sharing this information. This is the first we're hearing of any of this, so I'm going to ask you to go over it again in great detail because you are the first witness that we have who has seen anything quite like this. So please, on a different floor than the dinner itself? And you did see a person.
When you walk out of the dinner, and to go up, you have to climb a few stairs, not an escalator or an elevator. You just climb a few stairs to go out into the lobby area outside of the ballroom where the dining area was going on. We had just finished appetizers, sitting down, and I walked away to go out to the men's room, but you have to go up one flight of stairs. So I was up one flight of stairs above the area where the dining was going on. And as I was coming out of the men's room to walk back in, all of a sudden I hear these loud, very scary gunshots right near me. And the next thing I knew, a police officer was on top of me, threw me to the ground, and I was waiting. And the next thing, a bunch of other police officers came and told everybody who was near me, you guys are all going into the men's room. And
the mentalist is just that good.
I was afraid there were other potential gunshots that could be fired from other people. And so the next thing I knew, I'm in the men's room with about 15 other men. were just waiting to leave, and eventually they let us walk out, and I'm out now, but they're not letting me go back into the dining area where the
Let Wolf
event was
back
taking
in.
place. And I just assume
Let
the event
Wolfie
is gonna be
back
canceled, at
in.
least for now.
No.
Too scary with a gunshot incident like this. And I had no idea, as I was hearing the gunshots, who this shooter was aiming at, or if he was just trying to scare everybody. I didn't know what he was doing. But it was within a few feet away from where I was, and it was pretty frightening. And when the police officers took me away, one of my shoes fell off, and now I have that shoe back. But it was just a terrible, scary, frightening moment for me. And I'm glad it looks like it's over right now. But I think that out of presumption of caution, they're just telling everybody to leave right now.
Well, Wolf, hang on. First of all, they just said the event will continue. I don't know if they'll stick to that, but the announcement inside the room, and I know you're not there, was the event will continue. But let me just ask you, and if you can wait, just listen. Did you see a gunman? Can you describe the person and the weapon and what that person was doing?
My man is shoeless, bro. Let him live.
I didn't see all the details, but I did see the gunman on the ground after he started shooting. Police officers were threw him to the ground, but he was still shooting, and I could hear the shots going off. It was very frightening. I was on the ground, too, because a police officer was on top of me trying to protect me in case, one of the bullets could get near me, which it didn't. But I can't describe the gunman. I have no idea what, if any, motive this individual may have had. But the sense I got is that the police who were there, and there were a lot of police there, took care of him relatively quickly. And the incident looks like it's over, but it was a very frightening incident. And out of an abundance of caution, I'm sure they're taking other precautions right now. I see not only a lot of
imagine
police
I called
officers near
Trump
me
right now.
but a lot of military personnel.
Be like, yo,
as
what's
well,
good? How are you
just
feeling?
standing, and they're all armed and ready to go if anything else happens right now. But it looks like that one incident is over, at least for now.
Well, thank goodness. This is Laura. You're safe. We'll make sure that your family also knows that you are safe, given what is taking place tonight. I want to go. Please stand by. We want to hear more from you. We have Brianna Keeler, who also is on the phone. She also has new information. Brianna, we've just heard that the president is safe, a shooter in custody at the Correspondents' Dinner. Our own Wolf Blitzer in the lobby when the shots were fired, and he was tackled to the ground by the officers.
Yes,
to
I
protect
have his
Wolf
number.
Blitzer and
I
others
have the
who were
president's
in
phone
there
number.
as
Shut the
well.
fuck
What
up.
can you
I do.
tell us?
I just spoke with someone I know who had been heading out of the ballroom to walk upstairs to go to that sort of lobby concourse area where the restrooms are. And on the wall by those stairs is glass. And as he just started to ascend the stairs, all of the glass started to shatter and rain down sort of from above as he was walking up from the bullet. So he heard multiple gunshots as he was about to ascend into the area where this was all happening. And he couldn't see because he was actually below, but obviously he could see all of the glass coming down, and that person came back inside to the ballroom. But when we were inside of the ballroom, we couldn't necessarily hear that. The reaction of the Secret Service was really what startled everyone, and they just ducked for cover. But he had seen this, a lot of glass shattering, and that's actually an exit of the ballroom that we are not being permitted to go out right now and get some air from. There's other exits where they're permitting people to get a little bit of air from, and that's a door that is no longer open.
Brianna, we had been giving people as much of a play-by-play as we could. We knew that there was an announcement from inside of the dinner that they were intending possibly to continue the programming. We also saw a mass exodus of people leaving that ballroom, and Secret Service also coming.
Is Olivia Reingold going to be able to watch the White House Correspondents' Dinner, or is she not allowed back in? This is what I need to know. CNN, get to it.
In terms of where they are now after having left the ballroom?
We don't at this point, but we did just get an announcement from the White House Correspondents Association President Weijia Jiang, who said that the program.
Oh, shit. Bro, that was crazy.
The president's plaque off the podium, and there's been some movement on stage. There's been no movement, I'll say, at the dinner tables. There have been some of the wait staff that has come out and removed the salad course. I don't know if that means they're going to continue serving with the course, but if they're doing that, it's maybe a sign that they plan to continue with the dinner. And we're just watching what happens here.
Not the salad.
Karen Bohan, listening to all of this, I mean, what would you be doing as a journalist right now if you were caught in that room, or would you have gone to the bureau, gone out of the room?
So I would have stayed in the room because, in the room is where you're going to get probably more facts and find out what happened.
God, I fucking, this is the
things that a lot of journalists are
this
doing.
This is the funniest place where something like this could have happened. Okay, because every single person is in the media. So, and every single person is going to constantly talk about this. This is going to be the thing that in normal circumstances, the Mar-a-Lago shooter, right? The guy who wanted to kill Trump at Mar-a-Lago, he got killed immediately. It was barely a fucking day of news. This will be covered up and down extensively. Finally, get you off of Fox News. Oh, sure. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sure that Fox News will be able to figure out a way to pin this on radical Antifa terrorism and therefore your boy somehow.
And that's what happened about 45 minutes ago. Now back to the live ballroom. Let's see what's happening up there. Nope, people are still talking on the phone. Nothing is moved yet. John McCardle, any update for us?
After a horrible, tragic event like this happened, does it make you want to reconsider supporting terrorism?
Obviously don't want to leave.
What is this
It's
question?
just kind of the nature of reporters who want to see what happens. It's a lot of checking phones, checking in with family members, people asking if they're okay.
Dog, you asked that question so weirdly.
But like I said, there's also people popping some of the bottles of wine that hadn't been opened yet.
Connor said, why would they invite Iran to the press dinner? Oh, man. All right, we need more. We need more information. Yeah, I mean, technically nothing happened. From what we understand so far, one guy, I think, judging by the shots, there were 5 shots. There was 1 shot, and then there were 4 shots immediately after. So I think one guy fired the first shot, and then boom, 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 boom. It's over. What I don't understand is how the fuck some random could have gotten anywhere near the event space with a weapon. They already blaming you? No, they're not, bro. Calm down. How the fuck would anybody with a weapon get anywhere near? Tweeted it? Wait, what? Is this a good time to mention that Democrats knew darling Hasan Piker said he wanted the blood of his political opponents to run in the streets and recently justified the murder of an innocent father because he ran it? Bro, that is crazy. That is crazy. No, you weren't wrong. This motherfucker literally heard the president There's a motherfucker who heard in the news that there was a shooting that took place at an event that the president was at, and he did not wait. Immediately, he was like, time to make this about Hasan. All Dems are Pol Pot. Maybe wait until we confirm this isn't just another cracker. This one's worse. Reminder, Hasan Piker publicly advocated for President Trump's assassination. Perhaps one of his lunatic followers decided to give it a shot. Bro, what the fuck? Bro, brother, are you fucking serious? What the hell, dude? Ain't no way. This is HDS full force. Not a chance, bro. We're all here watching. Update from Janine Perot, who happens to be currently the fucking U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia.
I'm at the Washington Hilton. I've been taken out of the main ballroom after the sound of the shots fired. The Secret Service is now in charge of this building, this hotel. I just spoke to Mayor Muriel Bowser. She is on her way, and Chief Jeffrey Carroll is on his way.
To be fair, you are kind of Muslim. The fuck? Can't believe Hasan was almost there. I was not invited to the White House Correspondents Dinner. I was just invited to another party during the weekend. Who's the babe on screen? That's U.S. And you, this has 620 likes already. Oh my God. And you actually wrote about this. This is the outside.
Stay back.
Why is Young India arc? Quote retweeting Jackson Hinkle? What the fuck is happening in this video? Who filmed this video? Was it Jackson Hinkle? Is he there? Kirk livestream had more viewers. President fell off. Yeah, well, he didn't. The only person that died here is the shooter. That's why, obviously. They found the suspect. Stop. Also, most people don't even know this just happened. You have to remember, most people have no fucking clue. You'll see more and more people trickling in. That's why it's like unbelievable. That's why it's unbelievable that there's motherfuckers in here who are already posting their dunks on how I'm responsible for this. You know what I mean? That's crazy. He pinned that tweet already. All right, let's see what CNN is saying.
To get to the Washington Hilton Hotel. So I was a few blocks away, and I was walking towards the hotel, and you could see an enormous amount of security around the hotel. So they were clearly very, very worried. I was very, very worried, obviously. And then everything seemed to be going well until I walked out of the ballroom, and I was walking back in. The next thing I know, I'm hearing gunshots, and I'm pushed to the ground by law enforcement and taken away. It was just a very, very frightening moment for me personally, and I'm sure for so many others who happened to be in that corridor outside the ballroom.
We're going to hold behind the stage right now, staff. We're going to reset the head table. POTUS never left and is down the hall from me. He wants the show to go on. We're told by his details someone tried to get through the mags with a gun.
Is in a safe location.
The counter-assault team did their job. Unclear what that means.
Want to return. He does want.
Okay, so someone actually just fucking tried to walk through the metal detectors with a gun, I guess. Is that what happened? Or if just did it just beep on someone and the Secret Service just popped off on him? Like, the fuck? Did Trump post? Trump posted? Trump already posted for the backstage? Quite an evening in D.C. Secret Service and law enforcement did a fantastic job. They acted quickly and bravely. The shooter has been apprehended, and I've recommended that we let the show go on, but will entirely be guided by law enforcement. They will make a decision shortly. Regardless of that decision, the evening will be much different than planned, and we'll just plain have to do it again. President Donald J. Trump. More tweets blaming you. Shots fired. Extreme influencers like Hasan Piker and Candace Owens, both of our names, preaching as Piker did the other day in the New York Times social murder, trying to depict the most freedom-loving country on earth. Enough is enough. I guess this is it, right? That's it. It's just like, no matter what happens going forward, they're going to be like, remember Hasan Piker? Remember chatters when you were like, oh, I guess they'll stop talking about you now. And I was like, no, they'll probably keep talking for some strange reason. They'll find a way. They're reporting now that no shots were actually fired at all. Randy Fine, a.k.a. Horny Sexy, was on his third round of appetizers in lieu of the salad, and buttons on his suit shot off and shattered the glass above the stairs. The scene is secure. I hope everyone is safe. Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, this guy, I guess, is, this is a Clintonite. That's why his responses are like, what the fuck are you talking about? The president is literally the most violent person on the planet. Like, because it's crazy that these guys are like, Hasan Piker exhibits violent rhetoric. He has talked about how violent the systems that we exist under are, which is just as violent as the president, who constantly talks about murdering people. At FBI. Yeah, Caroline Leavitt called it. Bro, I know. I'm on it already. I'm fucking on it already. I said, what does she know?
Is he not?
He is ready to rumble. I will tell you, this speech tonight will be classic Donald J. Trump. It'll be funny. It'll be entertaining. There will be some shots fired tonight in the room. So everyone should tune in. It's going to be really great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
I love it all. And you wrote most of it, you said.
I can't take credit. In true Donald Trump fashion, the man puts his pen to the paper himself. So it's a lot of his own.
What? Liz, why? First time she hasn't lied? Oh, damn. True. Yo, arrest her. Oh my gosh, she wrote the script. It's a script. She wrote it. Photo, White House Correspondents Dinner, suspect really. Bro, we can't even make jokes like this because I feel like we now live in too schizophrenic of a media environment where people are unironically going to take that and post it, and then it's going to get like 700,000 likes. And then there's going to be like 10 million Americans who legitimately think I was the guy who tried to shoot the president. Okay. Like, we have to be a little bit more careful about the jokes that we make nowadays because honestly, you know, we can't, there's people are pretty fucking nuts. They will blame Israel or you. Yeah. Well, ironically enough, the situation currently is basically 90% of the country will blame Israel, and the 10% that are pro-Israel will blame me. There's a photo of suspect on the ground. Was he apprehended or shot and killed? I'm confused. I can't tell. You can't really see. Hold on. Let me get a closer look at this. Let me zoom in. Is that the suspect? I guess it is. You can't really tell though. I mean, they're trying to do that's it's like medical bags, right? So I think they might have been trying to save him. Fox reported detained, CNN reported shot and killed. We know where the CNN report is coming from. It's Caitlin Collins. We saw Caitlin Collins was the one who said